What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. It's just my brother and I, and we're kicking off the new year with a solo podcast. We're gonna have a lot more of these this upcoming year. Have some guests on, but our idea is to upload 4 podcasts a month now. So one every week. So you'll have a lot more of these shorter podcasts where we discuss a certain topic, go into detail about it, give our opinions on it, and then the following weekend we would have a guest on. So yeah, this is gonna be the first of many for this upcoming year.
What's the topic?
All right, well, today's topic is gonna be just us reflecting on this past year, 2023, and then what we look forward to this upcoming year. Any New Year resolutions that we got or anything like that.
Right.
Plans, goals for, without a doubt, personal goals, stuff like that. All right, Doug, let's get into it.
Yeah,
so
let's start off with?
Let's talk about this past year. Let's talk personal, and then we'll go into without a doubt.
Okay.
So personally, how'd you feel this past year went?
It was a roller coaster. I mean, well, in terms of emotions, bro, because I was in a headspace where like I kind of didn't know if I wanted to commit fully to coaching, and like, you know, with the podcast and all that, like everything was so unsure.
Yeah.
But I think this year just came together, and now I have some sort of like pathway that I want to follow. So in terms of that, personally, I got clarity. That's the best way to explain it.
But then what was it that, like, when it came to coaching, why didn't you want to fully commit? Was there something else in mind that you wanted to do, or?
You know what? I think it's the money aspect to it, because I've been coaching in the past, and obviously the money wasn't there, and you have to work for the money, obviously, and I don't think I was all in coaching, right? Okay. And now that we got into coaching together, I think that really sparked it up for me to, like, you know, take this serious, and it kind of gave me like the passion I had when we first started Athletic SM, or Without a Doubt. Yeah. In 2018, like that same feeling kind of came back. So now it's like, it's my what's it called? Like the energy is there. Like it's as high as it's been. Yeah. So
trying to keep the momentum going.
Exactly. 2024 is like, now I'm like, for sure, like it's all in, and I have like some sort of like, not blueprint, but like I have like a pathway to follow. Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about it a little bit when we first got into coaching together. It was the 2010 team that we coached at Slammers. Yeah. Dude, I'm like, that's something that I'm so proud of this past year.
Dude, I think that's one of the highlights of the year is
for sure
the fact that we started like November, right, of last year, 2022.
Yeah, right about, yeah.
When you brought this concept to me of building a team around our nephew and some players. Yeah. From having 3 players to then end of the season, we win league. We won league, losing I think only one game. One game, yeah. It's pretty.
Dude, it's cool because, like, just to give people some context, like, we have a nephew who's a 2010 player, so he was 12, now he's 13. And he was playing for this one club, I won't name him, but he was playing for this one club for a while, and he wasn't enjoying it. His coach that he had left, and then he just wasn't clicking with the new coach, and it just felt like he was kind of left, like that team was being left kind of
to break.
Like, yeah, like they're just like there's you could tell there was no like passion from the club for that team, and the parents felt it, the kids felt it, and there's players on there, and they're at Flight 3, so they're playing Flight 3, and they've been staying. That team has stayed in Flight 3. They never moved up. Maybe 1 or 2 players got called up to play higher or whatever. But my nephew was playing Flight 3 for the longest time, and I started seeing and I started hearing from Mimi, our sister, and our brother-in-law that he just kind of feels like he's falling out of love with the game, which is crazy for a 12-year-old, you know, to be falling out of love for the game. Like, it's just like, because everyone around him loves soccer, you know? Right. So for him to be falling out of love with the game, it has to come from the environment that he's in, which is on his team. And I could tell that he had that drive to get better. He always wanted to get better. But it just felt like he wasn't, again, in the environment to really get better. So that's when it hit me hard when I spoke to Mimi, her sister, and she was like, yeah, like I don't know. I think we're just gonna take him out of club and just have him play whatever, like Sunday league.
Oh, that's what
like
their idea was.
Their idea was just to have him play Sunday league and whatever. And I was like, no, like, you know what? Let me make a phone call real quick and let's see. And so I called you first about the idea, like, what if we make a 2010 team? And I'll call up Jerry, which is the director at Slammers Newport Mesa. He was my coach since I was like 9 till 17. Still really close to him, and so I was like, you said you were down. I was like, yes, like let's do it. And the reason I was like, I'm only doing it if you do it because we need to be like both 50-50 on it.
Right. Because you had a busy schedule with college.
Yeah, and then once my season started, I was like, and like we saw this past year, like if you weren't there, this team would have like had a hard time.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you took over completely during like my time with UCI. So yeah, when Jerry was like, yeah, I'm all on board, like whatever you need, let me know. And he's like, but you got to do the recruiting. So that was the toughest part, bro.
For sure.
Like, that was the hardest thing because, as we know in club soccer, like it's money, dude.
It's in the U.S.
In the U.S. Yeah, like it's money. You need someone in order for us to get paid. Someone needs to pay registration. But even with that being said, bro, like we were splitting what one rookie coach would be making for a team like this. And that's solely, and I'm saying this only just to give people a little bit of perspective, but that's solely because, and I don't think you ever had a problem with it. I never had a problem with it. Like that was like, yeah, we knew that going into it before. And I'm like, yeah, like for me, I'm only in this, or I only wanted to make this team for Alex, for our nephew. That was like my whole purpose. Like, I want him to be in an environment where he's gonna get better and he's gonna enjoy playing and love the game again. That was like my whole idea with it.
Hey, little did you know, you kind of got my love back into the game too.
Dude, that's
just
cool.
that one phone call you gave to me was like life changing.
Yeah.
Like believe it or not, I know it sounds like little not cringe, but like it's just but you did, like it honestly finally gave me some like clarity in terms of like not always thinking about the money and what am I gonna do, like I need something to be stable and stuff like that. No, you gave me that passion again, and now knowing that like we're growing, like our personal training business, I'm growing in terms of a coach and trying to get like my badges and stuff, and now opportunities are opening up.
Yeah.
And it's I can't thank anyone else but you.
That's crazy, because I know, and like we've had conversations, like multiple conversations before, where you've always been like, dude, I want to do this, but it's like I want to coach. But he's like, I think for the longest time it was finding that right age group to coach.
For sure, yeah, because I was always with like little toddlers, and it kind of felt like babysitting, and I didn't really like that.
Yeah, and I think that's the unfortunate thing, or I don't know if necessarily unfortunate, because I think you do learn a lot from working with like really young kids. But I think that's like the tough thing, like the tough time period to get through as a coach is to work with those inexperienced players, and to develop that patience for that like those younger age groups. But I know that you, like, having seen now that you coach at Costa Mesa High School on the varsity team, like, and last year you're coaching their JV team.
Yeah.
Like, I knew like right away you clicked way better with the older age groups, and it wasn't, and it's not even like the older age groups that are like players who are like already like developed and like already like know what they need to do, and you're just a coach that kind of puts them in a, like kind of guides them. No, like you work really well with kids who are older, but like still need so much help to develop.
For sure.
And you work so well with them too. And I think that's like, I think it's easier just to be a coach with a really good team,
right? And
just kind of know the basics of football, and just kind of like put them in the right positions, and that team will lead especially in high school.
Right.
But yeah, I knew that, so that's why I always felt like, okay, we need to push you to like kind of like work with older kids. So I thought Alex's age group would be like a perfect.
And it was, dude.
Perfect age group to do it. Yeah, because they're like, you can be hard on them, and and especially the group that we have, you could be hard on them, and they'll actually take it. Like, dude, like the amount of like talks that we've had with them where like they're like serious conversations. Like, these are 8th graders, probably they're going to high school next year. Like, if we're talking to them like how we wish we would have been spoken to at that age.
For sure, yeah.
And I think it resonates with them really well, and I think they're actually able to like really like take it in. Like, I know, like, one example, a kid on our team, like Damien, I know whenever I say anything to him, I know that he's really listening, and I know he takes it in because, I mean, it's funny, on Instagram, he's like popping off, like he's always posting stuff of him training, whether that's with us or his individual stuff. But like, I could see like this kid is applying what we're saying, and him starting now, like him doing the individual training now at in 8th grade is, I would say, a year or maybe 2 years ahead of what I was doing.
For sure.
And that's
he's
like,
good.
and he's already has a really solid base. So that's why, to me, it's crazy that he was in Flight 3 last year.
Yeah, that's insane.
He was in Flight 3.
Yeah, think about that. The opportunity you gave him to go train with the MLS Next team.
Yeah.
And they saw like the level wasn't.
Well, okay.
It's there.
Yeah.
You know?
So again, the context for people listening, we had Alex, Andrew, Damien, done 3. They came from the same club team,
Flight 3.
and they were playing Flight 3. And so I brought them to join our team, and they were like the leaders of the team. Not only because of their talent, but because of their leadership abilities. They were able to lead the team, and they're able to. They know how to speak to those who need a little bit more help, and to those who are like, they know that they're at the level, but they're slacking off a little bit. They know how to speak to it. So they already have those leadership qualities, and they developed a lot this past year. And yeah, so for us, I think our biggest thing has always been to provide, like, we're not selfish coaches. We don't want to keep players to ourselves. We want to provide them opportunities to move up. And you know, and I think our biggest thing with having this team was, at first it was like, for me, it was just to make a team for Alex. Now it's to establish a team where we can develop players to make it to that next level, jump. So I think that was like, I think we had a first taste of that recently when I got them 3 to go and train with an MLS Next team. And I went and I watched, their parents watched and everything. And dude, they performed. They did really well. They were not out of place. They looked like they merged in really well. They looked like comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And there's even moments where they looked like they were exceeding the level, you know? And so I was like, wow, like, I'm like, dude, they look good. But then of course there's those moments where like, oh, okay, they need to develop in that. But that was like every player.
Yeah.
And it was even like the coach afterwards says like, yeah, these guys can play this level. So now,
from Flight 3.
to think about last year, they were playing Flight 3, and now a year later, and it's not to say that we've developed them for them to play. No, they were already there. It's just a matter of that opportunity, that those people giving you that pathway to make it up. Because it could have been Alex if. And I hate it because it sounds like I'm saying like thanks to us. No, it's just the reality of things. It's like who do you know, who's helping you, who's guiding you, like, you know, that kind of stuff, and like who are you reaching out to, because you never know, like, because if this team wasn't formed, I don't think Alex would have quit soccer, but I just think he wouldn't have like cared to really push himself to make it that high level. I think he would have just kept playing Sunday League, and things like that, and he would have, you know. But I think now he's gotten like a bit of awakening, a bit of a realization that, dude, I can make it as far as I want to make it, and that's ultimately what we want to provide these players. Is like, you can make it as far as you want to make it.
And that age, 8th grade, that's the perfect age to start, especially because if they're trying to play college ball, a lot of kids, well, especially that I interact with in high school, they don't even know that grades are a factor to play like in a elite, like a UCI. Just one kid was asking me like, what were your brother's grades?
Yeah.
He's a freshman. I'm like, dude, this feels like, he was at least like 4.0, 4.2, I don't know, because he had some AP classes, but he knew from the beginning that grades were like a big deal in order for you to, make it far in college. And he's like, dang, like, I'm already failing. He's a freshman. He's like, his grades aren't as good as he would want it to.
Yeah, you have time to just change it around.
Yeah, exactly. So I told him, like, if you want to play college ball, dude, like, if you really do, then you have to, everything that you do when it comes to training, when it comes to schoolwork, your nutrition, whatever, it all has to be top level if you want to make it to the top level.
Right. Yeah. So, no, it's, I think we're going off the topic a little bit, but I think we dove deep into the coaching. But I think, like, again, the reason why I've, was so passionate about this is because that to me was such a highlight for this past season, is having that group. But I think we developed a really good group of players, and even the parents were like, that's one thing about coaching in club is that
parents is a big deal. They're a big part of it for sure. And our parents, with all intents, were so like the best parents we could have asked for.
They trusted us completely. They were like, they wanted our input on things. It was very like hands off on them, and that's like perfect for a coach, because you just want to feel like the parents trust you, and the decisions you make are strategical. They're not just like making random decisions. Like, we are actually thinking through what we're doing, and we had that trust from our parents. So I think that was perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from this past season other than that, or this past year? For you personally?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like personal development that I've been working on and been reading a lot. I don't know. I want to say that I got a little bit more spiritual.
Oh, yeah?
It's kind of weird because I started reading these books and they talk a lot about like imagination and stuff like that. So I started like visualizing more, and then, stuff happens. So I'm not going to say it does work. I'm not going to say it doesn't work. I'm just going to,
if it works for you, it works for you.
Exactly. If it works for me, I'm going to just keep doing it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
But, things are happening, so I'm content. I'm good.
No, that's cool.
What about you?
I guess for me, this is a coach that team, and then the season, the UCI season. We've touched on it on another episode, so I won't go too deep into it. But I think it was, I think every year I'm coming out like at this time every year I'm feeling better than I did when I started. So that to me is always like a plus. Like, if I feel like I've developed in this past year, like physically, technically, and then IQ wise and stuff like that, I think it was a positive year, and think
and you can see that. I think this last season that you played, you could tell that this is probably the best I've seen you in terms of like, in that team.
Yeah.
Like, and how comfortable you felt and how you just started to express yourself more as a player. It showed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I felt that for sure. So it was good in that sense, and of course it's always nice winning a trophy. So we won a conference tournament.
That's big. For you last year.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm a little disappointed with about the season was that I feel like going into it, the team was set on making it to nationals. And we knew to make it to nationals, we had to win the tournament, right? And we accomplished that. Perfect. But I think that was our only goal.
Damn.
I think we were too satisfied with just being there. And I think after having played that first game, having lost, of course, but having like dominated that game, and then seeing how the tournament went,
how far they got.
It was just kind of like, it's this, like, to me,
I'm so disappointed.
I'm just like a little bit like upset, because I feel like if we would have kept our like mindset on like making it to the finals of nationals, I think we would have had a lot longer of a season, a lot better of a season. But I think we just shot a little too short for us, but I think that it just comes from like we overrate these other teams. Like, there's so much hype behind these teams and stuff, and so like we overrate them so that we kind of like, we try to, in our minds, make a realistic goal. But it's like, dude, like, anything is possible.
What is realistic? Yeah.
So that's a little upsetting, but you know what? Whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
I feel like at least for me, like the high school season that we started this year, we were kind of in that mindset, like, oh, we got to make CIF, which is like the tournament for high school. But then we kind of changed the approach to one game at a time. And It's working because so far we're 3-0 in league, but I think the goal is just to make it to the league. It's the same thing as you're saying. Like it's to make it to that, but we're not like trying to be like, oh, let's win.
Yeah.
CIF.
Nah,
that's what I'm trying to. I'm kind of like trying to like the coaches are like, okay, one game, like we got this next game going. We got to win it. And in my head, I'm just like, okay, that's cool, but we're trying to win league. Like we're trying to win league. We're not just trying to win this next game.
Yeah.
And
you got to take it one game at a time. That's
sure.
It has to be that approach, but you have to have the bigger goal and bigger picture in mind as well, so that you know what the purpose of each game is really.
Because they're seeing it. Okay, now we can make top four. We can make top four.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we can win league now. Like.
Nah, yeah,
Kind of like doing all the whole point of this is to win this tournament. Like, or else we're just what's the word, like participating.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We want to win it all. Yeah. Obviously. And dude. They've been telling me all these things that we've been breaking, like in terms of like, not records, but like the last time we beat our local rivals at home or away was, or just any game was like 12 games ago.
Yeah.
So like 6 years ago was the last time we beat them, and then now we're gonna play against this school called Saddleback. We never beat them in league, so that just goes to show like.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how like.
You guys are having like a good.
No, we're having a great season.
Yeah.
I think we're. Good things happening. So
yeah, no, I don't know. When I saw you guys play against Sunset, that was solid. That was solid. But okay, so yeah, for me it was just that, and then honestly, I think my New Year's resolution that I had for this past year, and I'm gonna stick with for this upcoming year, was to really enjoy life, because I feel like previously I was super stressed about life. I was kind of putting too much pressure on myself on certain things. So it was really just to enjoy it. It was to enjoy this year and enjoy it with the people I love. And I felt like I did that really well this past year, and I want to continue to do it even more this upcoming year. But yeah, I think that was something that I am proud of myself for doing, because I thought I made sure to make the time for the people that I love the most in my life, and spend some time with them, make some memories with them.
Especially since, I mean, you're looking for that contract, so you never know where you're gonna go.
Yeah, and exactly. True.
Once you're gone, like, it's gonna be a while till you see family.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you stay local, which would be cool, but.
Yeah, that's another thing. So I guess, okay, let's move on. So we can wrap this episode up a little bit. We kind of went off. I think that's how each of these are going to go, to be honest. But this next year, 2024, do you have any New Year resolutions? Do you have any goals? I mean, we didn't really talk about Without a Doubt for this past year. I think Without a Doubt, there's a lot of good things as well. I think it's very similar to what we spoke about.
I'm so excited for Without a Doubt. I think that's going to be the main focus. I think, so yeah, in terms of like goals for 2024 is to really push Without a Doubt. In terms of like the training and growing the community, and gaining more coaches in, and being a solidified like training, I don't even know what you call it, like organization. Yeah, I mean that's the main goal, is to like really push Without a Doubt, and then obviously like get coaching badges, and whoever team I'm coaching, try to win the titles. I mean that's what I'm looking forward to.
No, I agree. And I think that what you spoke about, like the community around Without a Doubt, I think that's a big one for me. And I think one thing that will help with that is developing something that we've been talking about, that we've been wanting to do, is that street tournament, street league. I don't know what it could. It'd probably start off with a tournament and then develop into a league. That would be pretty cool. But it's just finding that facility, finding that figuring out all the details and making it happen. But in Costa Mesa, we definitely want to bring some street soccer into it, because that's how we grew up playing.
Yeah, dude.
And so if we can develop some street soccer, I think we can get a lot of locals to participate and get involved and really like feel part of this. Because I want to build a community around Without a Doubt.
We can even scout players that we've never seen before, and try to get in like.
And that's another thing, is I want Without a Doubt to be a place to help players get to where they want to be, And I think this upcoming year, I think this last year was a good feel for it, and a good like kind of intro to it all. And I think, and of course, that's not even to speak about like what like the people we have around us, a part of the team, and like how big of an impact like Yuli behind the camera has been on the production side of things and everything, and just to grow this podcast. But I think, yeah, this upcoming year, this past year was a good foundation and a good like intro to Without a Doubt, and I think this upcoming year is going to be a big push for it. Of course, we have our own personal things that we're doing, but this is still something that we're going to keep growing as we go. And yeah, that community aspect of it is something I really want to keep growing. The podcast, I really want to keep growing. The connections we make, I want to keep growing.
Of course.
Because ultimately, I want us to be a connection between a player and multiple people. Like, I want us to be able to have, like, whatever kind of player comes to us, I have a person in mind already that I can take them to.
Right.
That's kind of like
exactly.
kind of the idea behind it. But yeah, and then we have State Cup coming up with the 2010 team, so that would be cool.
Winning that?
Yeah, that would be cool. That's in February, so soon. Yeah, any New Year's resolutions? Just to wrap it up for yourself personally?
Just getting rid of bad habits. That's it. I have a couple habits that I need to let go of. So yeah, working on that. Being more aware with the stuff I do in my free time, and yeah, just try to grow and develop myself as a person every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think, like I said, just keep enjoying life and enjoying it with the people I love. And then I would say just to stay hungry. I think
for sure.
I don't want to find myself being content in any sort of way. I want to like keep that hunger up, and then just like you said, develop in every aspect that I possibly can, and not take days for granted. All right, so we'll have a lot more of these kind of episodes, like we said, throughout this year. It might be my brother and I. It might be someone else from the crew on, and with one of us. We don't know. It might be a big group of us. We have no idea. But the idea is just to have a lot more of these smaller length podcasts up for you guys to enjoy. And again, try to have four episodes up a month, which I think would be cool and grow the podcast up a lot. Anything?
Nope.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. I never say this, but like and share, please. And comment any topics that you think we should cover next. Any feedback, positive, negative, we'll take it. We'll take it all. But yeah, thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram, without a doubt _athletics.